Hey loves, it's Ronnie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a mukbang. Yes, we're gonna talk about the title of the video, but I have not eaten all day. Ooh, this is some Alfredo sauce. Ooh. Some Alfredo sauce. And I have some ranch here. I have some Italian. This is looks like some good ranch. Right here, I'm gonna put in this corner. Or will I put it right here? We have some Italian pizza today. Meatball and bacon. And I'm going to have my first bite because I have not eaten today. And this was smelling so good in the car right over here. I'm gonna try it with Alfredo sauce. I've never tried this before, but I don't know. I just wanted some Alfredo sauce. Sounded good. That's good. That's very rich. I want to use it on the crust. That's what I was thinking in my head. So the title of the video. A couple videos back. Today's Friday, by the way. Happy Friday. A couple videos back, in my spiritual discipline video, I said that I had stopped smoking. And that is true. I did for about 5 months. It's something that I gave to God a while ago. And, you know, you can't be on a spiritual high forever. Relationships, you know, like you're not on 10 in a relationship forever. That's any relationship. But you choose to stay committed. And I'm committed to Jesus. Yes, I am his bride. We are married. So, on January 1st, New Year's, literally on New Year's, okay? I smoked, woo. I was at a bonfire on the beach. New Year's, it was a chilly night. You know, good vibes. It was a good time, but I made a decision that, well, I learned from. I ended up smoking. I was with people so I was with my longtime friend, my best friend since 6th grade, and his cousin. And he wasn't around, like he was mingling and talking because it was people that he knew, but I was with his cousin and his cousin smokes. And along with that, like there were other people there, you know, at the bonfire. So I was like, okay, I'm at a bonfire. We're here and we're drinking, but I'm not a drinker. I don't really like drinking. But I saw people smoking. I was like, solid. I want some of that. I want what they have. So I did. Long story short, that opened a gate, I guess. I ended up buying. I bought twice. I started smoking again because I had smoked for a first time in a long time. And I really thought like, oh, I could just smoke one time, you know, and I'll be fine. And I'm not saying that that's the issue. I'm going to go deeper into it. I was very dry in my faith. I was going through like a dry period, dry season. I stopped reading my Bible as much. I stopped waking up at 5 a.m. to read my Bible and go to the gym. And I just felt very dry, uninterested, uncommitted. I would wake up at 5 a.m. or 7 because I stopped waking up at 5. So I'd wake up at 7, which gives me about 30 minutes to read my Bible before I have to get up and go to work. That night at the bonfire, I was going through a lot because God was telling me to not be friends with someone for a long time. And I knew that I could not bring them into my new year. Like, I knew that I could not bring them into 2025. So I was dealing with a stress from that. Then I also knew that once 2025 happened, like once the new year started, 4 days after, I would be not only coming back from break and working, but working and going back to school. I was going to have to actually wake up at 5 a.m. every morning to go to the gym so that I could go to work and then go to school. I just knew that I was going to be tired. So there was a lot on my mind. There was a lot that I was thinking about, and I kind of just gave up before I even started. You need God through everything, right? I know that I need God through everything. And when it comes to stretching whatever you're going to expand upon, whatever new thing and bigger thing you're onto, you need your faith to be able to stretch over that as well. As your life grows, as you handle more, as you get a promotion, as you get that thing I want, if you pray for something right now, would you really be able to handle it? Would your faith stretch that thing and the thing that those, whatever it comes with? For me, the answer was no. I gave up before I even started. And I started smoking. I fell, like, who are you going to rely on? Are you going to rely on God, or are you going to turn in back to yourself and rely on the old habits that you had? I turned back in on myself. I became dry. I became distant from God, and I felt it. I physically felt it. I came to a point where, and I did reach a breaking point. I was like, okay, I can do this for a little while, but then my spirit started to suffer. And my spirit and my flesh, I could feel them going head in head, and obviously they're constantly at war, but I was really feeling my spirit and my flesh at war. And my spirit was so dry. And though responding to my flesh, I got to a point, once I started growing distant from God, I got to a point where I was like, God, like, I need you. God, I feel so dry. My spirit feels so empty. And obviously, because I'm separating myself from Him, but I would just cry out to God. God, like, I feel so dry. God, I know that I need you. I need you. I'm so exhausted. I need your strength. I need your guidance. I just needed God, but I didn't know how to, or not that I didn't know. I wasn't physically seeking God, but my spirit and my heart were seeking God. They knew that they needed God. I would say like 3 weeks of this was going on, and it would just get worse and worse as the days went by. Honestly, I went from waking up at 5 and then just like sitting in my bed to waking up at 7 and trying to understand something. I would pray, God, like, please help me understand something. Please help me learn something from your word today. I would go from that to being like, well, might as well just sleep until 7:30 because I haven't been learning or taking away anything anyways. It was literally getting worse as the days went by. I also just had to realize that I'm not a person who can smoke weed, because if I want to, If I do once, then I'm going to want to. And for me, that's a problem. If I have a long day or, whatever, that's what I would turn to instead of God. So I can't smoke. Aside from that, you guys know that I'm trying to be a part of my church's worship team. And in order to be a part of my church's worship team, you can't smoke. So that's when, or I started smoking a little before that. It's been a long process. But once I signed a contract saying that I would not smoke weed, I really stopped. Because I wanted to be a part of the worship team. Well, I have been singing worship somewhere else. For now, I still want to be a part of my church's worship team, but God is telling me to pour into my friend's ministry. And when you're praying for something, right, God will have you do that thing, but for someone else. Do that thing, but in a way that's going to serve him and serve his people. Use your gifts for others, right? So I have been supporting my friend's ministry. I have been singing there, and I recently did a sermon there. This was last weekend, so it's been a week since all of this happened, but there's just something about this Alfredo sauce. After crying out to God, God, I need you. God, I feel so dry. I went to sing at my friend's worship night, and this was last Saturday, so it was almost a week ago. Tomorrow will be a week. I sang So Will I. First of all, I did a sermon, and the sermon was basically, I was talking about if I have 2 cats, right? I was like, I don't have children. It was pretty funny. I was like, but what I do have 2 cats. And sometimes I think about what would happen if I had a fire in my house. Will my cats see the flames and run under my bed? Or will they allow me to come with my carrier to save them? They might see my carrier and be like, oh no, and run away. Or they'll run in under my bed where they believe it's safe. Sometimes we run to places that's not safe. Honestly, that hiding under my bed will not be safe from a fire. But my cats don't know that hiding under my bed won't be safe from a fire, because that's their place of safety. God is all-knowing, and we are not. So when we see him coming with a carrier, we should trust him. Me, weed is hiding under my bed. Lately, I have been hiding under my bed. And hey, if a sermon does not apply to me, I will not be preaching it. It was really funny and it was a good time, but for the sake of the video, weed is me hiding under my bed, and God comes with a carrier time after time for me. But that's why I worship him, and that's why I follow him, because he is the most consistent thing that has ever been in my life. His love has been the most consistent, and he has seen me and heard me, and I know that he has, because he has saved me time after time. And you'll see later on with the video, he saved me. So I said that sermon, then I sang a song. And while I sang the song, I messed up. I was holding my laptop because the ministry we don't have a podium. So I was holding my laptop and I was trying to fumble through the lyrics and all that stuff. And I was like, hold on, let me get myself together. I'll come back. Someone else go. I'll come back. So I left the stage. And I came back after 2 other people sang, and that time was better. I made it through the song, but when I had left the stage previously, I was like, this is preventing me from getting to the place of worship that I want to be in. And I only want to sing if I am singing from my heart in a place of worship. I left the stage, came back, I sang and I made it through the song, but I didn't reach that place of worship that I wanted to reach. And whatever, the night continued. Great night. Love my friends. Hey, you guys know Kimmy. You guys know her. It's her ministry. Guys, come and support. Anyways, after the night ended, whatever, we knew that we had some talking to do because of what happened and my reaction, and like I wasn't okay. And that night after I sang, someone went up and sang "No Weapon," and I was like sitting there crying. I was like, I literally moved my seat to the back row in the corner, and I was like trying to hide it, but I was crying, and I was like, God, like no weapon formed against me will prosper. But like, what is prospering? Like, why can't I sing? Is this prospering? I know that at the end it will not prosper because you're always victorious, but what is going through it? Because I felt like I was being defeated in that moment. Because when it comes to singing and singing worship specifically, whew, God and I have been through it. It has been a process, it has been a journey, and it's continuing to be a process. It is continuing to be a process and a journey. But in that moment, I was like, okay, the last time I sang was the first time that I sang worship in front of people and led worship in 6 years. And I had this moment and I had this revelation, and it was beautiful, and it was spirit felt, and it was God felt, and it was just beautiful. And then this time I can't even get to that place of worship. So I felt like I was being defeated, and I was just crying out to God. And the night continued, whatever. Me and her, after the night, we went to Culver's at like 11. And we took it back to her house, and we were just sitting and talking, and I was like, I could not get to this place of worship. I feel like I have backslid on backsliding. I guess this is what I was doing. I was backsliding, I was dry, and I was telling her this, and I was like, and I couldn't get to a place of worship. And she was like, well, because you've been backsliding, you have been separating yourself from God. I was telling her that I felt so impatient, like when it comes to like God's promises, and it's not like I gave up on him or anything, or I felt like it wasn't going to happen, but I felt very impatient. We were talking, and she was like, well, you have backslid, and you are dry, and you haven't been in your word like that, so you have literally separated yourself from perfect peace. That peace beyond understanding, you have separated yourself from it. The more you drift away, the more you're separating yourself from joy, peace. And I didn't think about it like that. I was like, oh my God, I'm backsliding. And I felt the lack of peace and joy and all the things, and like knowing God's faithfulness. I would cry, God, I know that you're good. I know that you are so good. But right now in this moment, I don't feel like you're good. I know that you're good, but I haven't been feeling it, God. Please help me feel it. I know that you're good, but please help me to feel it. Please help me learn something from your word. Please, like, I want to come in from backsliding. I want to be yours. I want to come home. That friend that I went to that bonfire with, I was on FaceTime with him, and I asked what was something that he learned since he started taking the Bible seriously. Just like, what's a takeaway? What's one of your favorites? I was so down that I just wanted to know what other people were doing in their faith. What's something that you learned? Like, please speak to me about the word. And he was like, well, like the story of the prodigal son. I heard it spoken. It's not something that I read, but I heard it spoken in a sermon about it in a way that I never thought about it before. And basically he was like, when the son came and returned home, the moment his father saw him returning home was the moment he bolted out to reach him and bring him back home. He didn't wait for his son to come back home. He bolted and ran and met him where he was at. And I was like, wow. So then I started praying, God, please meet me where I'm at. God, please just meet me where I'm at. I was pouring my heart out, and I felt so dry. And I know that it's my fault, but I felt so dry. After that conversation that I had with my friend, the conversation about me separating myself from perfect peace, and we discovered that maybe the guilt and the shame that I have been feeling kept me from getting to that authentic worship place. So that was cool. After that conversation, I spent the night at her house because we didn't finish talking until like 1:30 a.m. After that worship night. So I ended up spending the night at her house. Her and her family got up for church in the morning, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to church. I haven't been to church in like 3 weeks, but I'm going to go to church because I need God, I need something. I went to church, and my pastor started talking about stretching. The same thing I said in the beginning about stretching your faith. I'll link the sermon. But if I link the sermon, will he see my YouTube channel? Will my pastor see my YouTube channel if I link the sermon? I'll link the sermon below though. Regardless, it'll be fine, I'll be fine. Because it's so important, and it's so nice, so beautiful. And my cousin went there, and I didn't even know that she was going. So shouts out to you guys know Ren in my video. We went, so that was nice and that was fun. And I sat next to someone her sister knows and she knows, but I met my very first time going to that church. I sat next to him. We were there at worship, and I was like, oh my gosh, pastor was like, say hi to someone and head back to your seat. I said hi to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love your outfit, you look great. And he was like, oh my god, you always look great. And he was like, well, I'm sitting over here if you'd like to sit. Because one thing about me, I'm gonna link it down below anyway. So when I go to History Makers Church, man, I bolt down to the front and I worship. Then I'll find my seat. Then I'll worry about my seating later. So I sat with him, I sat next to him, and we churched together, and it was fun, and we were shouting out like, yeah, Pastor, go, yeah, Pastor, amen. That's good, that's good. That's good, Pastor, that's good. And we were just having a good time, and the word was so wonderful, and the word was so needed, and the word was so felt. And he said something about, in Zechariah, he was saying that life and death is in the power of the tongue, yes, and that, you know, when a witch curses you, she's putting a spell on you, she's spelling, and all this stuff, you know, the stuff, if you know this stuff. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Don't curse yourself by speaking anything negative over yourself. Bless yourself by speaking good things over yourself. That was a part of it, and he was talking about Luke, and I was reading this 2 days ago, and this is the time that I was like, God, like, please help me learn something from your word. And I got the story was good, but to me, when I was reading in that moment, it was just like a story, you know, like I wasn't analyzing, because I don't know, I guess at that time when I was drawing, my spirit wouldn't let me, my flesh, I guess, wouldn't let me go there to analyzing the word and actually learning and taking something away from it. It was the part that I was reading that day when I was like, please help me learn something. It was Zechariah, when he found out that Elizabeth was going to be pregnant. The angel spoke to him, and the angel said, your wife's going to be pregnant. And then he was like, how do I know that you're saying the truth? Like, how do I know this? Is she going to be pregnant? I don't think so. And he was like, she's going to be pregnant because I'm a messenger of the Lord. This is Gabriel, by the way. I'm a Gabriel fan. I don't know. The Bible is like a book to me, and then everyone in there, they're like characters. I mean, obviously, but like they're real, you know? But like, I don't know. Gabriel is one of my favorite characters. So Gabriel was like, this is gonna happen because I'm a messenger of the Lord, and I said this, and the Lord says this, and because you doubted me, I'm a zip your lips until the baby is born. So he zipped his lips until the baby's born. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was reading, and I was like, okay. But my pastor was like, yeah, this happened, and the reason why this happened was because Gabriel did not, and God, whatever, you know, Gabriel does what God does, wants him to do. So God did not want him to curse himself throughout the trial, throughout the test. His faith did not stretch. And because his faith was not stretching, he cursed himself. So I thought that was interesting. That happened at church, and I was like, wow, God, thank you for answering that prayer. Not only did God answer that prayer, not only did I receive an amazing word, you guys, God met me where I was at. It was a closing sermon, The worship team was closing out at the end of church. And I told the guy who I was with, I was like, his name is Pedro. I told Pedro, I was like, man, I want to go up there to the front, but like no one's up there. I'll be the only one up there. He was like, come on, let's go. I'll go up there with you. And it's the two of us. Singing worship, worshiping with the worship team. People started to follow because we're trendsetters. Okay, we're trendsetters. People started to come to the front and worship. So singing worship, worshiping with the worship team. People started to follow because we're trendsetters. Okay, we're trendsetters. People started to come to the front and worship. So that happened, and we're worshiping, and then we're closing out, and then, man, one of the worship leaders on the stage comes down, walks down. God is so good. One of the worship leaders on the stage walks down to me, reaches out her hands, and she says, can I pray for you? I'm like, of course. But the moment she started praying, I just leaned over and just started sobbing, because the words that she was speaking, I'm telling you, when God blesses people with words of knowledge, when people who don't even know. Now, I've been to a couple worship team practices, but I've only seen her a couple times. I don't even think she knows my name. I don't know her name. When people who don't even know your name know what you're going through and know parts of your story because God tells them so that they can reach you, when God uses his people, not only that, but she was prophesying over my life. She was saying, I'm not going to say what she's saying because, you have to be careful with your words and who you tell, because there are not only supporters who are watching this. There are some monitoring spirits, right? But God uses his people. She started praying down at the front. She's kneeling on the stage. Some of the worship team is singing. I'm holding her hands, bent over, sobbing. Pedro, because she's praying over me. Pedro is laying hands on me. People are laying hands on me. It is as dramatic as it sounds, and God is so dramatic. I love God. I love my God because he is so good. He is so good. He really set the scene for me. Like, thank you, God. Thank you. And she was spitting. She was like, I know that you have been feeling this way. I know how you've been feeling this way, but God hears you when you cry out to him. God hears you. He has been listening to you. He has seen you. This at the third. And she was just spitting. Back. And that's some of the words of knowledge, but she started prophesying. One of the things that she said, I'll share this. One of the things that she said was, like, you will sing. You have songs inside of you, songs that will move people. You have testimonies inside of you. So that is why I'm making this video, because, well, when I was at the worship night and I discovered that thing, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so moving. I was like, I have to make a video about this. I have to tell like a story time or something. But when this happened, I was like, oh. And I was praying to God. I was like, God, I haven't posted in a long time. I haven't uploaded in a long time. Please guide me in the direction of what you want me to post. And please give me a video that's going to help people, a video that's going to speak to your people. And then this happened. God is just so good. God hears, he listens. Do you want to know why? You haven't asked, but if you want to know why I follow God, it is because he has been there for me when I have needed it most. He has been there for me when I needed it most. When I crying out to him, he literally met me where I was at. Ooh, and another thing that she said, thank you, Spirit. Another thing that she said was, Spirit, what? Another thing that she said was, I have been waiting. God has been waiting for you to come. God has been, like, I haven't been to church in 3 weeks, and she was like, God has been waiting for you to come. Man, I was like, oops. Man, God is so good. And I pray that this video reaches people who need to hear it, who need to hear a little testimony, who need a little pick-me-up. God hears you. God treats all of us like we're an only child. I have some crazy cats. God treats each of us like we're his only child. He is the best father, the greatest father. He's mighty, he's huge. And he's all powerful, but all good, so you can trust him. He is just so good, and he is so good to me. So I had to just share this story with someone. The story of the time God saved me, the story of the time God met me where I was at, crying out to him, and then knowing that he was listening to me, that he heard me, and God will use and send his people. And I can't share everything that she said, but like, God knows us, he created us, he hears us. If you have a problem, if you are dealing with something, if you feel empty and you have been filling it with voids that are useless like me, I'm telling you, after that, I was like, I'm flushing my weed. Literally, okay, I haven't done it yet because I was gonna make the video, and I was gonna make a video of me flushing it, but I decided to do this instead because it's Friday and I wanted pizza. It has been a week. Listen to me. Listen. It has been a week of my substance just sitting on my desk, bong packed, lighter right next to it. But when I think about how God has been so good to me, when I think about the fact that I called out to him and he answered me, I don't need any of that. I have God. I have the answer. I have the solution. I don't need any voids. I have nothing. I don't need anything. I don't. God is everything, and God is the only thing that I need. Spirit, if there's anything else that you'd like me to share, anything else that you want me to say to people, God, if there's anything else that you want me to say to people, God loves you. He is here for you. Just call out to him. If you're dealing with something and you're not sure who to go to, who to talk to, just start talking to God about your problem. Okay, it's funny because there's this one verse, it's like you're burdening God with your problem, but I don't think that this applies. You burden God with your problems when, okay, yeah. Just talk to God. Just talk to God about your heart and what you're going through. God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Please help me. Just start talking to God. If you haven't already, if you don't have a relationship with God, I promise you, and this is the only thing, I don't make promises. You don't know this, because how would you know this? But I don't make promises, but I can promise you that God hears you. And I can promise you that he's there for you. I can promise you that he knows what's best and he has your best interest, even when you don't see it, even when you're trying to hide under the bed. He will bring the carrier for you. Why was this? I literally spoke like a whole sermon about this. It was really silly, but it was fitting for me because I'm silly, and I was like making faces. I was like, whoa, like, because when man, you had to be there. It was fire. It was gas. Okay, not that kind of gas, guys. Not that kind of gas, but it was fire. It was gas. should have been there. It was really good. This was so rich. I'll see you guys soon. I know that it has been so long since I've uploaded, but I have been dry and I have been avoidant, and I'm so sorry about that. Oh, let me not breathe all over the pizza. It's already open and everything. I've been dripping all over it, but anyways, I have started work and school. I am learning how to balance these priorities. I was making a video every week. Now I shall not. It might be every other week, maybe, but regardless, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!